on this raw.
Brews and Banner Podcast. Brews and Banner Podcast. What up? Welcome to Brews and Banner Podcast. I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, is the legendary Brew Crew. What up, fellas?
I got water, I got, juice or whatever. It's like, y'all need twin legs? Matter of fact, I do.
My question to everybody is, does Delaware have an actual culture? This is the podcast that we talk about beer, but we also talk about a lot of things that's happening in the world. Politics, movies, anything really that comes to our mind while we're here sampling these brews. Grab a drink and pull up a chair.
Little nigga wanna try it. Ain't a nigga alive that's gonna deny it. This nigga making me feel erotic. He a freak. Date with the diners. I buy my cake, get your bacon out. You don't want that real smoke. Get bitch, they been waiting now. Gotta pop tags. Bitches starting in them hammer down.
What up? Welcome to Bruising Banter Podcast, where the topic is the rocket and the brew. Will that be the fuel? And I'm your host, Rob G. And with me, as always, the legendary Brew Crew. What's going on, fellas?
Lou Belgium, Rob.
What is going on, everyone?
Yeah. We are down a man a day. Shout out to Yo.
What's up, man?
But the show must go on.
Any chance?
That was his Hamilton spiel. His Hamilton piece.
Any chance to get?
That was your Hamilton piece. The show must go on.
Oh, that's like Queen or something.
I just think any chance you get to sing,
you want Queen, then take it. I was giving you Hamilton.
Any chance he gets to sing, he'll take it. That's what it all boils down to.
Absolutely. Sure. This is episode 93 of Brews and Banter Podcast. It is volume 25 of our social distancing series. So that means we do have an illustrious guest, as if we were Dee Zamero, but we do have one today. And we may have two more later. We'll see what happens.
Maybe not.
Right.
Stay tuned.
We do want to welcome our first guest, Hannah, to the podcast. Hannah, she's
welcome.
Thank you.
Brewer.
Hi, everybody.
Cheers. Yeah, raise the glass.
She's a brewer and a winemaker, and if you on IG, you can follow her at DopetheBrand. That's right?
Yeah.
DopetheBrand.
That's me,
Okay.
DopetheBrand. Yes.
Want to make sure I said it correctly. I was about to say, even though at DopetheBrand is I was
right.
confused. No, never mind. Like I said, this is episode 93 of Brews and Banter Podcast, and but before we get all into everything, how we always have to start the show. We want to know what everybody is drinking. So, what is everybody drinking today? We always start with our guests. So, Hannah, what are you drinking today?
I'm actually drinking one of the beers from the brewery. I work at Modern Methods. I'm drinking our pumpkin ale. We call it like Aunt Lizzie. It's like 5.7%. So, and yes, I did put a cinnamon sugar rim on my glass. This is
You fancy.
Had that.
You fancy.
Oh, yeah.
Hannah is fancy.
it's really good with like these type of beers, the pumpkin beers and Christmas ales. If you like those, cinnamon sugar rim kind of brings out all the flavors and spices in them. So
That sounds great.
yeah.
Okay. Before we do that, find out what everybody else is drinking. Our other two guests are in the building.
Coming on in.
Bring them in.
Give them a round of applause, Rob, as they let them in. Ding, ding, ding. Blkbrewbabes.
Yeah. I'm not sure what happened to did they go out? Hey, hello?
Hello.
Is that Blackout Tuesday?
Yes. They call them Blkbrewbabes. They are surely living up to that.
I think something wrong. Let's try this one. I think something's going on with their a string.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There you go.
Whoop, whoop. Hey, look, she got the shirt
that
on.
shirt. Oh my god. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Ah. Hopping
You finally got one, Dev. You finally got
Yeah,
one.
we see it.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think they're still frozen.
They're still frozen.
Yep.
Yeah, that just made my Sunday. Given to what happened to us last Sunday.
Well, that's probably. I mean, now I don't think I'm gonna let him in with that shirt on. Sorry.
Yeah, text her right now and tell her to change her shirt. That's why I was froze up.
Darn.
Yeah.
That's how we running things, huh?
Yeah, man. You know you always overrated when it comes to that.
No.
All right, let's give them.
There's always overrated and underrated.
They definitely overrated right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me see if
I
I
got
can.
y'all this week though.
I
think y'all on. I think y'all on to the Cardinals. Hello?
Hello? No.
They started off.
Trying to see some movement. I see some movement.
Kind of slow.
Yeah. Are they on there? I wonder if they're on the iPad or they're on a phone or computer. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Not sure what is going on. I think they are frozen again.
They're frozen again. No.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, while we see if we can
get it together.
Get that working. Dev, you can go tell us what you're drinking today.
Oh, nice. I am drinking this beautiful grapefruit nectar Indian Pale Ale with natural grapefruit juice. This is from RAR. This is out of this. Are they? Yeah, they Maryland. They Maryland. Yeah, Cambridge, so. Maryland.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Cambridge, Maryland. It's delicious, man. This one is a hopping, whopping 7.4%. Everything about this beer is delicious. So,
have you tried it yet, Dev?
Yes.
What is grapefruit nectar?
Grapefruit nectar, I think, is probably just the flavor. I don't know, just the juice, the natural juice they use up in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
straight from the neck.
Come on, don't you dare!
Straight from the neck.
Straight from the neck. That's not what nectar means, ladies and gentlemen. Just you guys believe everything Dev says,
right? Squeeze.
But that sounds like it smells delicious, Dev.
I know how you feel about
IPA. I bet you it smells real good.
But the you can see the color in there. You can see not really any representation of the grapefruit, but you definitely taste the grapefruit in every sip. So pass me another, Rob.
It looks like a commercial.
Yes.
Let me check on the Blkbrewbabes. Are you with us, or is it still frozen?
I think it's still frozen.
I think it's frozen still.
Yeah. Okay. Lou,
she looks serious. She looks serious in that clip.
Yeah, they frustrated.
Yeah. I went to one of our old timey favorites, Rogue. They're out of Oregon, and this is the Marion Berry Sour. When I first purchased it, I thought Marion Berry in the Washington DC likeness, but it is not. Actually, Marion Berry is a type of blueberry that is produced out of Oregon in Oregon State University labs, and it's a sour. It tastes pretty goddamn good to me. This is what it looks like in
there you go,
purplish, because Marion berries are purple. So there you go. Pass me another. It is at, what is the percentage here? 6.5%. It has 5 IBUs, and like I said, it's the Marion berries come straight from Oregon, right down the street from Rogue. So This is local to them. Cheers.
Okay.
Cheers.
Sounds good.
Rob G.
Yes, sir.
While we waiting on these Blkbrewbabes, what are you drinking on, sir?
I'm glad you asked, Lou. I am drinking from Treehouse Brewing. I am drinking Curiosity 100. It's a double IPA.
Mhm.
Is the can. It is a 8.4 alcohol by volume. It's brewed in obviously Massachusetts. That is where Treehouse is. It is I think one of the more experimental brews they do. But I haven't tasted it yet, so let me get there. It is delicious.
What's it look like? What it look like, Rob?
Oh, it's
What's it look like?
nice.
Oh, that thing is perfect. Thing is perfect. I see movement. I see movement below, next to me, to my left. I see movement to my left. To my left.
Yeah, they said that they were having major issues. Everybody is choppy.
Okay, got it. I hear a little bit.
I heard them in the background a little bit.
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay, good. Well,
yeah, I told them to maybe try refreshing whatever app they're on, and then try the link again. So let them.
And if you since you're talking to them or privately messaging them, let them know if they got any like cache or if they're doing anything like that. Sometimes clearing that cache and that browsing history helps.
Yeah,
cleared.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
that helps. Yeah. So what you got? What we got in the pipeline today for us, Rob? Oh, he's typing.
Yeah, well, I said try cleaning the CAG. I don't know what that meant, but all right. I think they'll understand. Maybe, hopefully.
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, we are here to talk to Black women in craft beer, and so we'll get into Hannah, and she can actually go into her bio, and if the other young ladies come in, we'll get them on as well. So
sounds
welcome
good.
again, Hannah.
Welcome. Thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
The floor is yours.
Okay. So I guess my story is kind of like odd. I obviously was just a fan of craft beer. Just started drinking it probably maybe less than 10 years ago. Started drinking beer, but for like the past 10 years, I've been a home winemaker, cider maker. So kind of like just my curiosity, I just wanted to learn more about the process of beer, because not knowing how beer was made, I didn't know much about it. I just know kind of the styles that I liked, different things like that. So the brewery that I currently work at, they were in the process of opening up. And so I met the owner at an event for a local nonprofit in town, and we were just talking. I handed him like my business card. I was like, hey, if you guys ever just need help, just let me know. I really want to learn about it. So a couple times he actually reached out and said, hey, we are doing like a double brew day today. Would you like to come in, check it out? You want to help? Different things like that. So I did that a few times. And then one day he just gave me a call and was like, hey, we need another brewer. Our brewer that we had, our assistant brewer that we had, he was moving to Nashville when they closed the GM plant here in Lordstown in Ohio. They were moving him to Nashville, and I was like, sure, why not? So I was like, I had fun doing that. And I kind of asked my boss at the time, like, why me? I have no brewing background. I've never homebrewed, anything like that. And he was just like, he just liked the fact that I kind of knew about the fermentation process, but he liked the fact that I came from a wine background. And then also that I was kind of new to the slate, that I wouldn't have to like press on to like, or say, why aren't you doing this? So, like, they could actually teach me and show me, in a sense, the way of the craft beer. So that's kind of how I do it. I've been doing it for the past 2 years now. I've been the assistant brewer at Modern Methods, and just like also with that, just trying to promote wine, more diversity in craft beer. I'm actually the only Black female brewer in the state of Ohio. So yeah, so that's kind of like, it's a cool thing. And
it definitely is. Are you the first or currently just the only?
I don't know if I'm the first or not, but the people that we've asked, no one knows of any.
Wow. Congratulations. That's groundbreaking.
So you are a Black History quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had you on in February.
Yeah. So this is kind of cool. So when I go different places or visit different breweries, I usually sometimes reach out to them ahead of time. And okay, I'm kind of like in the industry, and sometimes they're there. I get to get tours and different things like that, just to kind of just make those connections with different breweries. But like that's pretty much like my journey. Is just I don't know. I love the fact that it's different. I love the fact that everybody is kind of surprised when I say what I do, especially like my background. My background is like higher education. I've worked in high schools. I have my MBA. So they're like, so you go from working in colleges and with kids and in high schools and you're brewing beer. I'm like,
yes.
Yeah.
So
Hannah, what you said 10 years ago is when your craft beer journey started. What was the beer and what changed your mind?
It was funny. The first beer probably that I truly liked that I would get consistently was Blue Moon. So
definitely heard that. Yep.
Yeah. So that was my true transition into beer because I was just like, oh, you got Blue Moon. So then I learned when I started to learn about beers, I was like, oh, my style are like wheat beers. I like that citrusy taste. So so that's kind of like truly like my start to beer. Like I've had like I went to Kent State. It's a party town, so I've had beer, but it's like your college budget, so it was never like like you would never see me go out and get me a 24 pack of Busch or whatever like that. I would never do. But if it was there in a keg,
you drinking it.
I'm drinking it. That's what we're doing. But I never considered myself like a beer drinker like in my college years. But yeah, so like now it's like I've seen in the past 2 years since working there how my palate has progressed. Because if I was on this podcast last year this time, you would laugh at me because I was like, I hated IPAs. I did not like IPAs. And now
you're gonna turn Lou. You're gonna turn Lou.
Yeah, now my beer fridge is like hazies, West Coast styles, IPAs. Like it's like probably more hazies than doubles than West Coast style. So
that is actually dope.
Thank you.
So Hannah, I got a question. Just as you mentioned in your story, you came into Brew as green, and that's great. So they like the fact that you had a background knowledge in wine making. How would you say how steep was the learning curve just to kind of just kind of merge the two worlds, and what similarities did you find or learn?
It honestly is completely different.
Okay.
When you say green, it's true because I'm coming in there. I'm like, oh wait a minute, we cook beer. Because really with like wine is literally you get the juice, you add the yeast, you kill the yeast, and you just wait. Pretty much, it's a waiting game. Yeah. Beer, you're coming in there and it's hot straight from then, and it's more. And I told someone before I went from with wine and cider, or just mainly wine, not even cider. With wine, you have to have patience. Mm-hmm. With beer, you have to pay attention because everything is truly scientific. It's like to us, we treat our water every time we brew beer because we have to make sure our pH balance is the same. The water, we test our water too, like every so many months in case the county has changed something different in how they treat the water. Okay. Like the timing, like everything. It's like I can't be like la la la. This is like how I would with wine. I'm like, oh, let me check this. Let me transfer it like here every couple months. So that's where that was like my learning curve. It was just like, hey, I really have to pay attention. You have to follow this recipe. Like literally, your water that you start off with can't be 2 inches more than what the recipe calls for, because that will change the whole balance of the beer. Mm-hmm. So that kind of, helped me. Like, that's the difference that I learned with that. And then it's just like, I always tell people, they almost ask me, what do you like to do more? I was like, I guess I'm still the type of person, I'm patient. But it's like sometimes with the beer, my anxiety goes up because like I'm like, wait a minute, especially how our system is completely different than a lot of people's. We are on a more manual system. We like to joke around that we brew on the Ohio's largest trash cans.
Mhm.
So it's down to like we got to keep our flame controlled. We
Okay.
don't want to stick the mash because it can go from a 8-hour day to a 12-hour day if something messes up. But that's kind of like what you learn, like especially coming in there. And like I said, I didn't know the process at all. So
Okay.
knowing like I said, I didn't even know you had to cook beer. I just thought
Right.
it was just like, hey, you just put it in a fermenter like you do wine and just wait. So
Yeah.
Speaking of cooking beer, and I don't think I've ever even asked any brewer this question. Is there a such thing as like burning or overcooking or like just overcooking beer? Is that possible?
we wouldn't probably say overcooking it, but you can burn or stick the mash. The mash is where all the grain is.
Okay.
It's usually you kind of just let it. It's usually like 45 minutes to an hour that you mash before you transfer out into like the to the fermenters.
Mhm.
So, but you can stick it in it, and that's if your flame is too high or anything like that. So you can do that, and then you can also overboil a beer when you get if your flame or your temperature is too high when you're boiling. That can change your ABV of the beer. It's usually when you get the higher ABVs and like stouts or porters or something like that, you boil longer. You may boil like sometimes you may see even certain IPAs, you may see like a 90-minute IPA, 120-minute IPA, different things like that.
Okay.
That's literally how long you boil. Typically our IPAs are like an hour and you're done. But if you want that higher ABV, you 90 minutes or more.
So in the same vein, Hannah, a lower ABV, you boil less?
It'll probably still be an hour, but you won't boil as hard. And so it's just
and all that and ingredients and all that taken into account.
So that's when you try maybe not you, Louis, if you try an IPA that says like it was a 90-minute, it was a 120-minute, or sometimes I think it's like Dogfish Head or something like that who has those. You can truly taste the difference. And I know like when we want to do a higher ABV stout, we'll be like, I'm like, oh, here we go, 90-minute boil or something like that. Like, so, but yeah.
Yeah. So look, Hannah, we're gonna have a very short therapy session. Why do you think?
Hold on. Before you do that, we want to because they are moving. So that means they are live.
Hey, ladies.
Welcome.
Welcome.
So Allie and Shonna, I want to welcome the Black Brew Babes to the podcast. So how are you?
Welcome. I don't know if you could hear much of when you guys were frozen, and I'm not sure which name yet or is which, but you repping that Dallas shirt. That's all I got to say. Like you win.
That's probably why she's having problems.
That's exactly why. That Wi-Fi would mess up in Dallas.
We won't hear that shit, Rob. They are definitely Eagle fans. That's why.
Wi-Fi broke like Dak ankle. No,
that's low. You should have said it cracked like Jerry Jones's face.
Yeah,
that'd have been better.
I'm just messing. I love Dak. I'm just messing up.
It's the Cowboys that we have a problem with.
Right. Thanks for making this socially awkward, Rob. You
but
just
ladies, welcome.
Socially distant into a completely different level.
That's cool. That's what I'm here for. Turn it up a notch.
Oh my God.
But we want to welcome you to the podcast as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all drinking beer today. If you are, what are you drinking?
It's Old Malt.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see it. Old Malt.
Yeah, they're a fairly new brewery here in Atlanta. They also have a restaurant. The food is amazing. Yeah, so they're in the like West Midtown area, kind of sort of.
Okay.
A lot of different breweries around that area, like Firemaker, which is new. Steady Hand, Atlanta Brewing, they're all in the same.
Oh, they just popping up everywhere down there. Yes. Yeah. What style is that, ladies?
It's a quad.
Okay.
9.7.
It's a 9.7.
Yes, she did.
But I think they're sharing it though, so they might be all right.
I don't know. You Rob, you don't
know anybody's threshold.
This 8.4 right here, I'm drinking. It's starting to get me sweaty. I'm like,
I got you.
All right, Dev, I'm sorry. Go
Back to you, Hannah. Damn, Rob, you might have made me lose my train of thought. It's like no. I said we're gonna have a quick therapy session, real quick, with on Lou. We know in the whole IPA, but we won't be long. We won't belabor it.
Okay.
What do you think, or what have you found being a brewer and just kind of polling people that have kind of this that makes IPAs jarring to some and not to others? Like routinely, like what kind of feedback do you get for people that are just totally, just kind of opposed to IPA?
I think it's sometimes the people is the bitterness, is the IBUs of the beer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think like the Blue Moon and like the hazies are, well, the Blue Moon is not even an IPA, so I'm sorry.
Right.
But I think like the hazies and the juicy like New England style IPAs help people transition. I always try. I try to convert. Like a lot of my friends are not beer drinkers, but they are open to it because of the fact that this is what I do. This is a passion of mine.
Right.
So I can't truly introduce them to sours because I'm not a sour fan. So it's like some people say you transition people with a sour or something like that. But I introduce them to a New England style. And I'm like, hey, try this. Okay. And then I might even give them a surprise. I might give them a double IPA because you would think a double IPA will be more bitter, and it's not. So then I'm like, yo, here, try this double IPA. And then they're like, oh, that's not bad. And I'm just like, so I transition that way. But it's still like, it's new to them. Because I often think when us as Black people or African Americans, when we think of beer, we think of what we grew up seeing people drink, like a 40, a Coke, you know, something like that. And I tell people, I was like, when you hear the word craft, that's truly what it is someone's craft, someone's baby, someone's like recipe, like your grandmother's sweet potato pie or like, red velvet cake. It's someone's craft that they put into it and that hard work to get it to not be that negative stereotype that we're used to. So when people, like I said, I invite friends to like tastings or come out to my brewery or I'm going to this brewery, come here and try it. And surprisingly, they end up liking something, even if it's a sour. And I'm just like, hey, just test your palate out, get a flight. So to me, I welcome flights all the time. I was like, that's a true helper to you. You're not investing $7 in one beer that you may not like, but you will invest in like maybe 4 or 5 ounce pours that you may like one out of. So come on, Lou, just try hazy.
I'll try them all. I don't like them. That's just it. Like if you say if Hannah, you're the brewer. So if you come up to me and you're like, I got this IPA, Lou, I think you'll like it. I want you to try it. I'm going to try it. You can't make me like it. Yeah. I'm not gonna like it. Just because you gave it to me, I'm not like, oh, you know what, I like it, and then turn around and like, this shit is trash. Like,
you don't like any not milkshake.
I've had a lactose and a milkshake that I enjoy both of those. But no. Give me a sour.
That you would go back and buy.
Right. When I first came into this, like I was a Yingling and a Heineken drinker, and I didn't like that. So I'm in the journey of trying to find the beer that I like. And right now, like I've always grown up on Kool-Aid and sweet tea. So I like Ghost and sours. Like the sweeter, fruitier beers is what I'm into. So that's where I'm going. And I'll taste anything. I'll try it all. But yeah, IPAs right now smell great. Like they are the best smelling beers in the world. But they don't taste like they smell.
You're like
credit.
Yeah, they get the credit. They smell delicious. Their aromas are awesome, but they not good, man. They just not good.
Okay. All right.
Hold on, Blkbrewbabes are asking question. Quick reference. Give me names so I know.
Because I'm about to call her cowboy.
Yeah,
I can call her cowgirl. And
just call her down. Just call her down.
Yeah, we're gonna do whatever.
But what
are your names?
I'm Allie.
Shonna. Nice to meet you, Allie. And what's that?
Shonna.
Shonna. That's good. That's nice.
Okay.
Shonna.
Ali and Shonna. Awesome. Okay. So you were asking a question, Ali, though, right? I think.
They're asking if Brew has ever tried any beers from Wiley.
I think they're good transition beers into like the IPA family sometimes.
It don't matter. I'll try it, but it don't. Like,
Ali,
I give everything a chance. Like, prove it to me. Like, change my mind. Like, come on.
Ali, if you could come closer to the mic, we could hear Ashana good, but we couldn't hear you really as much.
Now, Luke.
Yeah, I'm just loud.
They have really, really good IPAs.
Okay.
They have the Alpha Abstraction series. I think they're on like number.
I'm gonna send you some money. So mail me some this week.
That's fine. Yeah. IPAs are really juicy and smooth. You would never know that they're like 8 or 10%.
Okay. I'm down. Look, I'm down to try it all. Change my mind. Let me get on here and say I like an IPA.
I need some too.
Right.
Let me get cash out.
Right.
Hey Lou, you do like Survivor's IPA, don't you?
Yes, I mean it's an IPA. Then already know the deal. Stop trying to play. That's good.
Right.
That's funny.
You're not taking any photo. You're not taking any photos with it in your can or doing any commercials for it, right?
I did a commercial for the fest, not for the actual beer.
Got you.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought they was asking about that.
It was in there. That's when Yoda spoke a lot about the beer. I said the fest was great. Yeah,
all right.
It was a great fest.
Well, while we are talking to Ali and Aishana, well, I guess we can get into a little bit of your bio as well, and then we can get this round robin questions going on back to Hannah and back to the Black Brew Babes as well. So once again,
before you start, Rob, if you ladies have any questions, feel free. It's a free flowing thing, so feel free to ask whoever you want.
I think they already figured that out. They asked questions.
Look, you never know, man. Some people just be quiet. You never know.
Right.
They asked you, have you ever had wild?
They asked me. They didn't ask Hannah. They didn't ask Hannah anything. Shut up. Shut up.
I got you.
Just let them talk. Be quiet.
All right.
You take it too far all the time.
All right. Well, welcome.
Yes, welcome.
So how are you ladies doing? And who are the Black Brew Babes?
You can do it. Well, we're the Black Brew Babes. We live here in Atlanta. We just have a passion for beer and the different styles and trying different things. Like when we first got into, I've been in the drinking craft beer maybe since about 2015, 2016. But prior to that, I drank trash beer for like almost 10 years. How long have you been drinking craft beer?
Maybe like 2011.
Okay. You a vet. You're a vet in the game.
My college kind of swooped me in. So yeah, it worked.
Everybody started in college.
Yeah, man, that just seemed like a natural transition.
I don't think when I was in college, craft beer was a thing.
But how about beer in general for you, Hannah? Like just beer. Like you said, beer was always it was always around. Yeah.
Oh yeah. When I was in college, craft beer wasn't a thing because I'm old. But
like I said, Yingling was the closest thing back then.
Yeah, it was like what you could afford. You just gotta think of college student budget. If you could get a 24 pack of beer for under $10.
That was craft. Like you said earlier, the craft is in the person.
Yeah.
I crafted this money to get $8.
Like, I started off with box wine too, so
yeah. Some box wine that ain't bad.
Hey,
some box wine is not slick.
Pull that spout out, it's all good.
You're all good.
It's all good.
You probably take that foil bag out of the box when you get down to the last bit and give it that good
piece. With the rest out.
Yes.
Every penny matters in college.
Yeah, shout out to Still Reserve. No, I'm just joking. I never finished Still
$2.11.
Reserve.
$2.11. It's still like $1. It's still $1 for 20 ounces.
That never changed. But it was like probably like last summer, one of my friends, she never had Old English before. And I really couldn't say I ever had one. And we literally stopped what we were doing. We went to the store and got a 40 ounce, but it's not a 40 anymore. It's like a 42 ounce plastic bottle. So it wasn't a true experience like back in the day. It's like a glass bottle. And we actually like probably had like little tasting glass, and we drank. We were like, "This is actually good. Like,
it's good. I like it.
Good." But we're like
agree.
none of us was like, we're not drinking this whole thing because you would wake up with the worst hangover ever. So
I can believe it.
I left it at that sip.
You know,
I never had OD
think,
either. So
I think there's some science behind bottle versus can. I don't know that to be true, but I tend to enjoy like the malt beers and even like the Old English and stuff. I would always buy Modelo, the OEs and stuff. Corona. I would buy that in can because I felt like when I crack it, it was super fresh. It would always give me that nice, chill, cold, taste that I was, looking for. Like when somebody cracks like a Pepsi or that, that same cold. I call it cold blue. So do you guys, what's you guys' experience been versus bottle versus can? Any feedback? Any comment on that?
I think there are certain brands that I would prefer in a bottle than I would in a can.
Okay.
Just because of what you said, but some of them are actually, to me, taste better from the bottle than the can. So I think sometimes it just kind of varies on like where I'm at too. Sometimes.
Okay.
Is it also your mood too?
My mood?
Yeah.
What I want to look like while I'm out.
Hey, right. Yeah, could be that.
That too.
All right.
Yeah, I have to agree too. It depends on the brand of beer and where like to me, I think the Corona in a bottle tastes better than a Corona in a can, but Corona in general is probably a crappy beer anyway. So, but when I'm out and if I'm at that only bar or spot that does not have craft beer, I'll get a Corona. But I add grenadine to it. So it's that's like everybody's like, "What you drinking?" I'm like, "A Corona with grenadine." Like, don't give me the lime.
When you in a bar or a club and you got a grenadine and you a single man, you put a little grenadine in your Corona, you get a lot of ladies talking to you.
Right.
It works.
You do?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Take my word for it or go and do it this weekend.
Right.
I'm not a single man, so I can't do it this weekend.
You can still do it. You don't have to get the number. You can still do it.
Right. The law of attraction. It always comes in drones when you are taken.
There you go, Dev.
I find that to be a scientific fact.
Dev, like people hit on me all the time.
All the time.
They hit on me every day.
But that's a different topic because that's more about they see that you're not afraid of commitment because they see the ring on your finger. That's two different things. Grenadine in a Corona bottle is intriguing. I've had
it makes you want to ask a question. Makes someone what's going on over there? That beer. Hey baby, come on, talk. Come over here and talk to me.
Yeah, and I typically don't drink with my left hand, so a lot of times they don't even know that first. Right hand. I'm sipping.
Single. I'm single in my right hand.
Dark. I don't know none of that yet until they ask me about my bio and my background.
All right.
Let's get that focus. Speaking on bio and background, Blkbrewbabes, is it just the two of you guys in Atlanta? Are you a movement? What is the purpose? Like, tell me more about what you guys are here for. That sounded bad, but that's not what I meant. I meant that much better.
Why are you here? I meant
that much nicer than that. Sorry about that.
It just started from us having like a love for beer, and then
are you guys like best friends or sisters or whatever?
Or girlfriends.
Mm-hmm. Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's my partner.
Yeah, there you go.
What's that song? I forget. That's my. I forget how it goes. I don't even know.
What? You should have got that before you started.
Do that one more time. I think I had it.
We're gonna play that clip later too. We're gonna play that.
What was that?
I don't even know the name of the artist or the song. I just know that that's like something they playing on the radio right now. I forget. I'll find the name of it though.
What is the movement, Blkbrewbabes? Devin.
Right.
Yowzers.
We just have like a really good eye. It started out like just having fun with like the very bringing out the ingredients that they probably use with the beer or the name of the beer, like Oreo ice cream or something of that nature. We just really have like a strong eye for those kind of things. So we wanted to make it fun. It opened up a lot of our friends into trying beer as well. So it's also a thing of getting people to open up their palates, as Hannah was saying earlier, and just to have fun with it. I mean, try it. You don't like it? Okay, cool. Try the next one. And we've actually opened up like a lot of our friends and family to a lot of different beer. Like my younger sister, now she comes out to beer events with us and texts pictures like, what should I try? I'm at Whole Foods. What should I get? You know, those kind of things make us truly excited for like what we're doing and what we are bringing to the table, especially being Black, women, gay, like all of that, you know. So I think we just want to spread the word, honestly. Like craft beer is not just a white thing or whatever.
Oh, you can say that out loud. We say that every week. We say that every week. That's why you guys are here. That's why you're here.
It's a white male driven industry, and we're trying to, you know, change that. We're trying to bring as many Black people with us as we can, and if we can influence more Black women, especially, to join the movement, just to, even if you don't want to drink anything, but to show up in numbers and be there to support. I mean, it means a lot. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Now y'all were supposed to throw a boat party right before COVID hit. Was that right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was our 1 year anniversary of our brand. And we were gonna have a boat, like beer, fun, food, photography, like all that. And then COVID said, "What's up?" Bye, but she wasn't. So
dang. It's just postponed. Just postponed.
Well, the 2 year. I'm gonna try to be there for that boat party.
Right. Is this y'all in Atlanta? Is this like Lake Lanier?
Yes.
Yeah. Invite me too.
I'm waiting for my invite too.
Yeah, I think we all got need invites now.
I'm there. I love a reason to come to Atlanta.
For sure. For sure.
That's solid.
Hey, that's what's up. So I guess I can open this up to everybody in terms of your favorite beer style. What currently is that? What is your favorite current beer style?
Good question.
Out lover.
Okay.
It doesn't have season.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Chocolate or coffee, or does it matter?
I don't like coffee.
The chocolate.
Okay.
I kind of like a hybrid. Most of the time I like sours, and then I've been getting more and more into IPAs. But now I'm like the sour IPAs. I'm really into those.
I've never even heard of that. That just kind of blew my mind. I would definitely try that. I would definitely try that.
Look at Hannah. Hannah was holding back.
Has a sour IPA.
Say it again.
New Belgium has a sour IPA.
Oh, shout out to me, Lou Belgium. I'm gonna tell them today.
Yeah, you need to hit up the LQ.
Yeah,
Hannah,
I'm gonna hit
about you.
Belgium up. Give me something.
Mine kind of always it would vary. Like right now, I would always say usually it was like stouts, porters, like lagers, wit beers, wheat beers, stuff. Now I would have to say like hazy IPAs, stouts, porters. But I'm like you, Shonna, stouts, porters all year round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe they should just be limited to winter. But yeah, like so if I go somewhere and someone was laughing, we had one of our local breweries here did their Black is Beautiful release. And I ordered, and theirs was at a nice 11%. So I ordered, and they were serving it in I think a 12-ounce glass. So I ordered it, and then I ordered their IPA, and then everyone's like, "Oh, you double fisted?" I was like, "No, I'm kind of just letting this stout warm up. So drink this, warm up, and then
meditation."
So again, like right now, this could be different a couple months later. I would be like a hazy IPA, New England style, stouts, porters, everything else.
Well, he said something.
Sours are definitely last. Like,
Hannah, you said something interesting. You said you wait for the stout to warm up. Do you always prefer you too, Shonna, since you like stouts, do you got ladies always prefer it to be warm or room temperature, or is a cold one okay?
I prefer it to be warmer than straight out the fridge. So I just feel like the flavor, especially if it's a pastry stout, all of the flavors come out a little bit more. Especially if it's a great stout, you can taste the different layers, and that's what you would hope to get when you drink a stout. You don't want to just get that malty or like the coffee taste. You want to be like, oh, I taste the chocolate, and then I taste the coffee, or vice versa. So I feel like if you just let it warm up, even if you just let it warm like 5 minutes, it makes a difference. And then as you're sipping it, as you're drinking it, because you're not going to drink it really fast like you would maybe an IPA or a lager or something like that. The
profile will change over the 20-30 minutes that you drink it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
We had fun telling people about that, and they was like, because we're like in a beer chat, which is how we met. So we're in a beer chat, and we talk about beer. We post different, beers that we're drinking and things of that nature. And I told somebody, because he was trying to stout, and he's like, "This don't really taste like nothing. I thought it was gonna be more flavors." Told him to like let it warm up on his second one. He came back in the chat like, "Wow, I didn't know that." And it's like, yeah, that's a real thing. Like,
right.
Yep.
It's like funny things that you don't know, especially with Hefeweizens. My boss Adam, who owns the brewery, he told me like our Hefeweizen's in a can or whatever, and I was pouring it out the can. I was like, why is this so crisp? I was like, this is not. I was like, did we do something wrong? And he was like, he opened up another one. He poured it kind of like not even halfway. Then he shook it up in the can and then poured the rest, and it got its beautiful haze. And it's something I didn't know. He was like, you can either do it that way when you're pouring out a can or a bottle, or you just turn the can or bottle upside down for a second
before you open it.
Back before you open it. And those are like little tidbits, because like I was like, oh, we messed this up. I was like, how did we not get the Hefeweizen look? And
do you guys put that on your cans? Like,
we don't. We should
have some instructions. Yeah, I would like to know that. I would, because the both of those things I've never done. I knew that it could be a difference, but I didn't know it was a difference that benefited the beer.
Yeah.
So that's good to know for sure.
Well, there you go. We learn something every week on the podcast.
That's right. That's right. For sure.
And then it makes you look good out in public. People are like, "Oh, you know what you're doing." Like,
right. You got your paperwork is in order.
Yeah, especially when you go out, when people see me go like this or something like that, and I'm looking at it and then like smell it, they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was just like, "I'm looking at the color of the style." I'm like, I want to smell the aroma, and then I taste it. And they're like, "Do you always do that?" And I was like, "I think I do." Except if I'm drinking it straight out the can or the bottle,
Right.
Is that since you've been working at the brewery, or have you been doing that like the last 10 years since you've been in craft beer?
No, since the past 2 years. Okay. I've learned from some true home brewers, and I learned and then I've done a couple like homebrew competitions where I was a judge. And I was like, y'all want me to be a judge? And then so I'm just like, okay, I'm learning. That's part of how I learned too, just sitting on these panels as a judge and using my taste profile and then some of the things I've learned about the different styles. So
well, Hannah, I have a special debut for you, since you have been definitely giving out the hazy double IPAs.
I got that in my fridge.
You do?
Yes.
So this is the LeBron Haze out of San Diego.
All hail the king.
California, Pariah Brewing Company.
Northeast Ohio, LeBron.
Yes. So this is coming in at a 7.5. I finished that RAR IPA already. It's one of them kind of days. So I'm about to crack this one. And as Lou, I'll give you some love, Lou. Lou, as you said, you like to hear that special crack.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, there it is, baby. I like that sound. There it is. So let's see what this color is looking like. Let's see.
It's nice.
Yeah. It actually changed. As you poured it, the color got a little deeper. It started out light, and then the color got a bit deeper.
And this is an IPA, Dev?
Yeah.
Double.
Does LeBron know about this?
Probably
He
not.
might not.
He may not.
He definitely does not know about
He
that.
does not know about LeBron Hayes.
Because I'm sure they say,
Somebody at him.
Yo,
I'm sure they would have said half of proceeds go to I Promise School. So he does not know about that.
That's true, bro.
Right.
Hey, maybe I should reach out to him about that. Let's
Right. Well, that'd be a connect. You'd be friends with LeBron forever now.
Right. And then if you friends with LeBron, Hannah, we friends with LeBron. So go ahead and do that.
That's how it is. It's like we joke around because we joke around here in Youngstown. We say LeBron. Obviously, he was raised in Akron, but he was born in Youngstown, and he went to like a Youngstown school. I don't know if it was like till first grade or something like that, but then like someone posted like like one of their grade school pictures.
Yeah,
and we were laughing. We were just like, he needs to claim us.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yo, I give you a little tidbit, Hannah. Steph Curry was born there too.
Where at?
It was born in the same hospital because Steph Curry's dad played for the Cavaliers around the time that Steph Curry was born.
Look at that.
What's his dad's first name?
Dale. Same as Wardell. Excuse me,
okay.
Wardell. Ooh, shorten that thing to Dale.
Yes.
That makes sense.
You know who he named after? That uncle or that grandpa? He named after somebody.
I think I want to say Steph is junior or the third at the highest.
But he wasn't putting that on.
Yeah, oh no, his name is Wardell Stephen.
Right. That's why we know him as Stephen.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Change the name.
Yeah, he hated that.
Steph Curry, show Youngstown some love.
Yeah. As soon as he could change his name to Steph, he started calling himself Steph. I'm not Lil War.
Like Lou, now it's for real. Like going from the first IPA by RAR with the grapefruit nectar, you would think that would be a little bit more juicier. But this double haze right here, boy, this thing right here is way more fruitier, way more, just everything about it. If you was next door, man, I'd be pouring it.
Well, I hope so. It's named after the goat, so it better be great.
It better be great, right?
Hey, Rob, I like how you said that.
He does that. He tries to do that every chance he gets.
I had to pull up a shirt because during my quarantine, I picked up a little like t-shirt making hobby during quarantine. And so I made a shirt it's like a shape of a goat with number 23 in it. And I wore it and I posted it on my page. My brother just sent me like that eye emoji. He was like, really?
You did a double entendre. Would you put the goat with 23? Who are you talking about?
Right.
No, it was, I did it. I had to pull it out. I did it on a gold and purple shirt.
I'm about to say that's what really got
you from Ohio. You should at least have the wine and the gold.
But I did it. I made a couple. I made 3 shirts actually of his. I made one with the wine and gold. I did one with red and black for Miami. And then I did this one, but since they were in the playoffs, I wore the Lakers colors. But I was like, I always tell people, I was like, I don't have a favorite team or anything, but I will go wherever LeBron James
goes. Yep.
Like, I will go wherever he goes. So
yeah, I stopped when he went to the Lakers.
Oh, are you shaking your head?
That's how you know. That's how you know it's bogus, though. That's how you know it's bogus. This is totally off topic, but because they try to find any reason not to call him the GOAT. They'll say he's the best career. Best career mean the GOAT. What the
GOAT. Right. He had his prime was longer, but Jordan had a better. Well, his prime is longer.
They said he's not the GOAT, but his career is better. He said, and one lady said he's not the GOAT, but he's the greatest superstar. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
He's known for basketball.
Listen,
he's the GOAT.
Listen, the way that Mike changed the game, that's why I say he's the GOAT. But LeBron, bro, you can't be in your prime for 13 years. Like people's careers ain't even 13 years long. My son's not even 13. My son's not even 13. And his prime's been the whole time.
Yeah. All right, well, I digress. I'm sorry.
Well,
I have a question for Ali and Shonna.
Ali.
Because I think I have read somewhere because I try to do, but do you consider yourself beer influencers? That would
nice, Hannah.
There you go.
So what is I guess what does that space look like going forward in terms of like during COVID and I guess after COVID, hopefully soon.
Really pre-COVID, when we started our brand, we made it a point to not show our faces. We wanted them to get out there first, so that was intentional. So we started posting for weeks, and it was probably maybe about 2 months before we even showed our faces. So we gained a lot of followers in the beginning, and everybody was just like, you know, it was already like the core Black women here in Atlanta who were drinking beer, and they just had question after question. Who are Black Brewbabes? Who are Black Brewbabes? They were trying to figure out who they were, and then finally when we revealed who we were, they were like, oh, like they're not catfish. These are real Black women who are like, we need to connect with them. So I mean, really, it's just building on top of that, like having like a big movement of Black women drinking beer, and we're part of a collective called Craft Women Connect.
Yeah. Okay.
Monthly, but really the influence thing behind it, brands reach out to us, they're like, hey, we want you to try this out because, you know, your opinion does matter. And we even have like some home brewers here in the Atlanta area, and they always reach out to us because the main thing that they're on, they're like, you know, women were the first brewers. Your opinion was not women's opinion. They care what you all think because you all are moving into this industry like with a force. And if you like it, you know that other people are going to like it. So, I mean, we just had that big influence on the industry. And I mean, we just elated that everyone's been so welcoming, even though new into, you know, the brewing industry, I guess you could say.
All right. So another question. This might be, I don't know, maybe too personal, but y'all met in you said you met in the beer chat?
Beer chat. Didn't even know that exists.
So first it was another chat. And she mentioned, somebody was like, oh, what are you guys doing tonight? Like trying to spark conversation in the chat. And she was like, oh, I'm drinking beer. And someone, I think I asked her, I was like, you drink beer or like, right. I had to figure it out because I was already in the beer chat. So, and I couldn't bring in somebody else who was talking, but like if you on what
you were interviewing,
basically.
Yeah.
Then but not to be her girl, to be in the chat, to be in the other
like,
chat.
Look, we need to do some we need to do some vetting. Let's do some vetting here.
That makes sense because that reflects on you. You can't bring people into that. They'd be like, what are you doing here?
This girl drink Bud Light. Get her out of here.
Oh, we do tell people, like, don't post that in here. Like, I don't think it is the only thing that's around. You could tell us about it, but you don't post it in here. And I slid in her DMs asking her, like, do you really drink beer? Like,
yeah.
Her about the beer chat, like, hey, there's a beer chat, you know, we talk about where we got the beer, the ABV, the kind of, you know, if you like it or not, where'd you get it, you know, if people are interested more in it from the can or from, you know, the color profile of it or anything, then, you know, we'll have more conversation on it. Or we talk about beer events that are going on in different cities because we do meet up when we're in different cities because it's people from all over the world. So like next week, I'm going to Cali. So I'm going to be like, hey, Cali people, anybody want to meet up, catch a beer, flight, whatever. So that's also been the plus of it. We've been able to meet so many different people across the world, especially when they come into Atlanta. They'll be like, oh, hey, in Atlanta for the weekend, what's going on? I'm going to be at the Porter. I'm going to be here. Like, where should I go? You know? So that's like the greatest thing, like from the beer chat. And then
oh, so you seduced her with beer, huh?
Right. What part of Cali you gonna be in? I could maybe engage some folks.
I'm gonna be in San Diego, LA, and Temecula. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Okay. I got people out there, but some people on that in more southern. They're out of town. They're in Aruba this weekend. But if you were
in Tulum.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up.
So, you got a couple people in San Diego. Brandon, Leo, they all represent San Diego.
Black Beer Travelers, right, Brandon?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, so she sees him all the time.
Yeah. So whenever he pops in, we end up seeing him there. Even if we don't even know that he's here, we end up seeing him at whatever beer event we're at. So
yeah, because he's always in Atlanta. He's in Atlanta a lot.
What the flight prices the San Diego looking like nowadays? You know,
Free.
right? Well, I'll tell you this: from Philly to San Francisco and to Oakland, I was still looking at $500. So I was like, wow.
Hey, and my flight is $80 round trip.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
You need to drive to Atlanta and fly from there.
It's probably worth to drive to Atlanta.
Philly, Atlanta, then LA.
Yeah,
but Atlanta was like the busiest hub in the world, I think. So maybe that's why.
Yeah.
They
have its own Delta Center.
Right.
Yeah.
I fly Delta too. I got them Delta points.
No, you better use them.
I fly whoever has an $80 round trip.
Yeah,
right.
Like you notice how nobody asked her who the airline was. Nobody care.
Because if it's Spirit, I'm packing my backpack as much as I can.
Spirit. Nope, I don't even do Spirit. You can keep Spirit.
I have not had a bad experience. I've flown them twice and did not have a bad experience.
I did.
Well, there you go. It might be the crew.
Hey, I just made sure, like my family is very prayerful. I was like, you guys anoint me, pray over me. Like
I will not.
I put both my hands up. Everything. So.
I will not deter you, but I am definitely concerned for people who fly Spirit. There are clips out there if you that are on YouTube of people flying Spirit, and they're like, yo, these pilots. Yo, they will find air pockets that will send a plane into a tailspin. They will find every single one. And my trip to Jamaica, thank you, my wife, for my 40th. But that experience on Spirit, I told her, see, that's why I booked the flights. I don't
I'll make my own birthday present.
You think the pilots actually said, "Oh, you get what you pay for? Here's a pack."
No, people was on this flight. They were praying. They were praying. They were crying. This plane looked like it was geared to go down. Everybody had their phones out, like, "Oh, this is it."
Hey, because
there's a system in the plane that gets you out of the turbulence, and you tell them, they said, "Fuck that, let's fly right into it."
They know what they're doing.
Well,
they know what they're doing.
Oh, they said no, so hopefully, Shonna's not she's not taking Spirit.
Yeah, she definitely shook her head vigorously.
Spirit. She definitely shook her head Spirit.
Southwest and American. So one
free bag.
40, and the other bag was the other flight was like $30 or something. So yeah.
Okay.
Yo, those airline prices be making me want to do
now
first class.
Something going on in San Diego, or are you just going out there because it's San Diego?
My friend's birthday, so Friday and come back on Monday.
All right. Now, Han, I got 2 questions because doing this podcast, I became an Instagram stalker.
Okay. I'm like, what did I post?
Actually, no. This is more about. So you said you traveled a long distance to get the Yingling Hershey Porter. Was it worth it?
Oh yeah.
No, I said I crossed the border. I live in Youngstown, and I went to Hermitage, PA, which is a 15-minute drive.
Oh,
but nowhere. Yeah, I just said I crossed the border. That's a joke around. But nowhere around here, no one had it. So I'm just like, when they came out with it last year, it was only on draft, and pretty much it sold out probably everywhere it was on draft.
Yeah.
So then when I saw someone posted they had it in a bottle, I was like, wait, when they do that? So I went to their Instagram page, and then you go to the website, they find it, and I was just like, and I called. I'm not driving the Hermitage to search, and then I just called a couple places, and then one person was like, yeah, we just got 3 cases in. And I got it from the gas station because I just bought the whole case. I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm not coming back here. So
yeah, true. Do you have to warm? Do porters taste better warmed up?
I think so. But no, I mean, to me, not as much as like a stout. Like because usually you get more flavors from a stout. A porter is just a baby stout. Like Yeah, so it's like you just drink that cold, but that Hershey, like it's good. Someone was like, it's very under. Someone posted like on one of the Facebook groups I'm in. They were like, I heard it was very underwhelming. I was like, if you're expecting a high ABV, yes. I was like, it's under 5, and I.
Yeah.
But Yingling is a light ABV, so you shouldn't expect too much.
Yeah, you shouldn't expect too much though. But I just like the flavor profile of it.
Yeah, that chocolate is in there. That chocolate is in there.
Well, shout out to I think it was Tamara 2 weeks ago who said put the peanut butter whiskey in there.
Yeah. Oh, you tried it? You tried it?
Oh, I tried it. Amazing.
That's what's up.
I'm willing to try that, and I don't even like peanut butter, so I'm really
it was like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay.
With alcohol in it. Woo! That ain't some drone candy right there.
Oh, it was amazing. But the second question really was, now your handle is dope the brand. What exactly does that mean?
Dope is Dope the brand is like because dope was already taken obviously on Instagram. So it stands for dwelling on positive energy. So and it's kind of what I started here is like it wasn't even like a beer or wine movement. It was just me doing different things in our city, like events and get-togethers, just for those like-minded people. Either you're an entrepreneur, you're not, you're a young professional, old professional, but just for like the Black community who wanted to stay positive. Because I don't know if you guys know much about Youngstown. We just have a bad rep, our city. It's like people like we go from being known as like the Steel Valley, Long Island Steel Mills, to when the steel mills died, to us being like all these people out of jobs because there's no more steel mills. And then it's like, okay, people know us. If they don't know us from that, you know us from us being like a mob city. So it's like, we are very, very big on mobs here. And it's only because of people always say our history is because Youngstown is a center point from New York City and Chicago. It was a center point. So back then when trains and different things were really prominent in our area, that's what it was known for. And then you go from that to being like, okay, you lost everything. People are moving to the suburbs, and then like the poor Black people or something staying in the city, Black on Black crime. So it's just like something I started. I was like, my brother actually helped me think of the name. I told him, I was like, I already knew I wanted the acronym to be DOPE. And I was just like, I needed to be something positive. And like 5 minutes later, my brother texted me back, dwelling on positive energy. And I was like, perfect. And so anything I do, that's the vibe you have to get. Like when we go out to breweries or we go out to restaurants, we go out to this, I always like try to hashtag dope because it's just a positive vibe, and that's what we need. And that's what I try to represent me as myself, my character as a whole. So that's kind of what Dope the Brand stands for. It's always positive. It's like, and I tell people like, sometimes like if you're not feeling it, like I'll send, like sometimes I tell people like I have like a tiny empath in me, because if one of my friends, I can sense something, I'll just shoot a text, like a positive text or something like that. I like, just remember that you're dope. But then sometimes in the morning, I have to wake up and tell myself, and especially during this pandemic, I was like, yo, if I'm feeling down or depressed, and that's something like in our community we have to recognize. I'm like, yo, you're dope. Like, be dope. Like, this is what I tell myself all the time. And then this is like, but you need that positive reinforcement. And then sometimes you have to give it. Even if I'm not feeling 100% or something like that, and I know someone else is down, I'm still shooting that out. And I try to express that in my social media at all times. Like, it's just like someone always be like, man, you're always doing something, you're always having fun. I was like, you only see it when I post. I was like, I'm usually just home and work every day. Like, it's nothing, like I'm not doing something. But if I'm out for the weekend, I'm going for the weekend, you'll see that vibe. And just, again, like, we have to keep that amongst each other, especially during these times, like with these like live podcasts and stuff that you guys are doing. These are something that keeps us going, keeps us motivated. And like I said, like when they weren't able to do their boat trip, it's still like, hey, don't get down about it. Like 2021, I'm there. Like I'm already said, let me book my $20 round trip through Spirit.
Now, right.
Right, go get it now.
I don't know.
What month? Yeah, what month is this? What
Yeah,
month is
I'm like,
this
Anna,
trip?
one thing I can say about that $20, it'll start out as 20 when you going in and logging into that Spirit. By the time they a la carte you up to 300. So don't even act like by the time you select your seat, you pay for that $80 bag for weighing 50
But
pounds.
that's the thing, Dad. That's the thing. Like Hannah said, you gotta bring your carry-on, and you take whatever seat they give you. You
I
don't
take
buy
whatever
no
seat
seat.
they give me. If you
Yeah,
want to
I'm
put me in a
not buying
center, oh, hey, what's up? What's up?
Right. You
I'm like
solo, so you can do that.
Yeah, I'm like this.
Yeah.
But also too, like the love. I was like, I'm going to Atlanta. So
Right.
if I need to buy a toothbrush, it's
you
like
go.
I'm like in the middle of nowhere. I was like,
Right.
if I can't pack that toothpaste, somebody
There
got
you go.
toothpaste.
You're right.
Like,
It is a science to traveling and being a minimalist.
I learned it with Spirit and Frontier. So
Yes.
there's a science with those.
You're right.
But
what did you say, Shonna?
I'm nowhere near a minimalist.
I'm about to say, the women in my life that are most important, my wife and next my mom, they don't know how to be minimalist. I bought my mom suitcase after suitcase for Christmas and for her birthday. She's on her like third big rose gold big suitcase. My wife, she think that a weekend trip is equivalent to 2 weeks. I don't know what it's like. I'm like, why do you need 3 outfits per day? Like, so
my brother is watching this podcast right now, and he's probably cringing because he'll come home for a visit, and we're like, "Hey, we thought you were just here a week," and he's like, 4 bags. then he has a bag with like he'll bring like a box, like he's really into like liquors and stuff like that. His cigars. He's like, then he's got like
can't be away from all that.
He's got like a pouch with like watches, his like accessories. I'm just like. Then he was like, "You got to have a shoe bag," and so it's like he's hearing me talk about. I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna take the pair of shoes I'm wearing."
Yep.
And then I have
one more pair.
Right.
I got 2 pairs of shoes.
And I build my outfits around that.
Right.
Roll up. You got to roll up. You got to get them things super tight and cuff them things. Put stuff inside the shoes.
Yep, definitely.
People probably thought I rolled joints back in the day. That's how tight.
I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
I had a question, but I lost it after that road.
That little rant.
Sorry about that.
Oh, I did. I know what Hannah. I had a question. Being as though that you're in a brewery, and obviously make your own beer, wine, those kinds of things. I feel like that a lot of us are big on reaching back, trying to again attract our folks into craft beer and just into this forum. How would you, if you had to kind of fast forward to, let's say, years from now, how would you like to bring our youth and people that are kind of getting, that are like maybe like similar to like having like kind of like a trade, how people think of trades of carpentry, all that kind of stuff. Like, how could you use your expertise to kind of branch or kind of be that olive branch into people that are like maybe not so serious about college, but they want to do a trade like craft beer?
Yeah, and it's kind of like too. It's funny that you asked that question because like I've talked about. I have a few friends that are teachers or that are in like they work in high schools, principals, and we were talking like again before the pandemic, all that hit. Last year we were the one school that I graduated from that I'm an alumni of. One of my friends asked me to kind of be like one of those entrepreneur type of people that came in during that career week that they had.
Yep.
And I was just like, and I was kind of like, are you sure you want me?
Right.
I was like, coming in here talking about beer, wine, and stuff to like young kids.
It's a service.
Yeah.
Service industry.
Yeah, but then I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, maybe I wish someone like that would have came in on like a career day
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah. It could have
Because
started your career off faster.
yeah, and it's like you said, it's like almost like a trade. It was like when I graduated in 2000, so a trade back then when people talked, they were like, if you went to a trade school, people were like, you're not smart enough for real college. You weren't this.
Right.
And today at 38, I was like, I wish I went to a trade. I was like, because I was like, I wouldn't have the student debt that I had and different things like that, and it'd be a different ball game. But then also it's like I'm appreciative of it too, so I don't regret anything. But it was like something that we're working on. So it's like I try to not really like I've never haven't talked to like an underage person truly about it. But I've talked to some of my friends who have kids who are early 20s, things like that. And one of my friends, her son wants me to show him how to make wine, how to make cider, and he lives in Columbus. And I was just like, hey, once I get this license going, Columbus is a location. Yeah. I was like, my heart is always Youngstown. And this is where I would love for it to start. But if it booms in Columbus, I'm okay with that. I was like, so just be ready. Like, we'll be ready to start this. So I'm definitely, if people who are in that field that can invite me into a high school or something like that, obviously I'm gonna bring samples or anything like that. Right. But I would love to talk to them that, and I think that's a spark in people's interest, like my age, older, even younger, when they see like when us doing what we're doing as enthusiasts, as brewers, as people in the industry, especially beer, because of our thought process of beer. And when you say, hey, I do this in beer, and people look at you weird, and they're like, hey, I was like, there's a craft to it. Like, there's a difference.
Something just popped into my head. Like, as you mentioned early on in the beginning of this segment, beer being a science, right? It's science, right? Yeah. Like, I could see things like this being like, what's wrong with it being at a science fair? You know what I mean?
Right. I was thinking when she brings in when you said you got the high school background with kids, like you should be in high school science classes, giving that career fair. Yeah. Because I love science and I never knew that.
Rob is clutching.
Ain't nobody worry about Rob. He clutches pearls all the time.
I'm sure about the alcohol. They probably like,
nah, you don't bring no alcohol. She just said I'm not bringing no samples. You can't bring no samples.
It's about the process. You can do that.
It's just about learning that there's something else to do with science. Right. Like everybody think you gotta be a doctor or you gotta be in an actual lab to be a scientist, but you're a scientist. Yeah. Like all the brewers at your place are scientists. Like you ladies, y'all testing beers and you can taste the beer and know what's going on in the beer. Y'all down there in Atlanta, y'all scientists.
Because to your point, Lou, like I know, like I've worked in manufacturing for the last almost 20 years now. And the one thing that helped me, even though I've got a business degree and background, what used to always help me is when they would get in front of a room of people and tell me the scientific process of how they, would activate a catalyst and get it to this degree to get it to make kerosene or to make, gasoline and make all these variations of stuff. I wouldn't know that because I didn't go to school for it, but it helped me just to see illustrations of it and be like, oh man, this is what actually happens in the process inside of this burner or inside of this or whatever. And then it got me to support, what they were doing. So
yeah, and it could also lead to other things that people aren't thinking about. I feel like another component that we're missing as a community, as a Black community, that we're missing out on of multiple millions of dollars is the money the people spend in grain, malt, like that farming component, as well as hops. Right. I was like, hops in grain and malt.
Let me get a part of land. I'm trying to get some land.
And it's like crazy. Like one of my friends, she like reached out to me probably last year. She's like, hey, I have hops on this piece of land that I have that grows, and they just grow and die.
Wow.
And so I told her, I was like, you know what? I was like, that is not my like area of expertise. But I was like, because like I've met people in this industry who when we do our fresh hop season, I've met farmers. I was like, they would be more than willing to come and show us or show you how to string them up, how to get that
cultivate
land,
them and harvest them.
and it's like we're missing out on other things again. And almost farming is a science to me. Like,
definitely is
tied to this industry. Like, what's that one show? It's called Ozark, where they had the poppy seed field. That's a favorite show of mine. But just by having that land, they make millions, and they showing you that kind of stuff. Not subliminally, but it's happening. It's everywhere. It's all around us. And if you somehow get into this space just beyond, how you were introduced to it, the limit.
Yeah. And I definitely, that is something I am looking forward to. Again, like our kids right now, they're not in school. So I'm not sure if they're going to go back in 2021, but it's definitely on the table for them. But to me, it's like, that's something to truly talk about and to bring it to light to kids. Like, it's more than just like right now, it's just not that 40-40-40 plan, anymore. That should have been dead with
our
millennials.
Absolutely.
That should have been dead, but that's what we were taught. So I was like, I feel now like we need to teach these kids now that you don't need a college degree. You don't need this like trades. Like again, like this, someone called it one time like an industry disruptor. And that's what we are considered. We're industry disruptors because again, all of our fields that we do, we're the minority still. Like I'm in a male white dominated field.
Yep.
For me to be the only Black female brewer at this level, and not taken from anybody who is in Ohio homebrewing, but to work professionally in this industry and be the only Black female, that says a lot.
Yeah.
And then it's like not taken away from the Pink Boot Society, because I think that's an awesome movement. But again, if I joined the Pink Boot Society right now, I would be the only female person of color probably in the local chapter. So, it's still tough. But I think everybody here, our importance is like people are seeing this, like kids, like I said, even if it's not like high school age, like my friend's son who's like 22, 23, he's interested. He's like, hey, he's interested, and that's what we need. I was like, we need more people like that. And then maybe 10 years from now, the industry could possibly be a little bit more level, because we have a lot to offer in this industry. So
it's all about giving the generation that comes behind us more options than what we had. Like you said earlier, trade school was looked down, frowned upon in early 2000s, late 90s. And now it seems like at least 4 to 5 of us on this podcast wish that we had went to a trade school for something. Right. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of showing everybody, younger kids and younger generations, like, yo, you can do whatever you want. Like, you see that person, you want to do their job, ask them what they did to get to their position, because most of us aren't what we wanted to be when we were younger, or like our careers are not that.
We checked that box off simply because we wanted to get to that next level.
Right. Absolutely.
We didn't want to be shut out. That was
like you got, like Hannah, you got your MBA and you don't use that at all, but you had to get your MBA in order because that's what you thought you needed to do but now you're a brewer.
I'm just like, man, I was like, I can't even probably sell my MBA on eBay if I wanted to.
Yo,
nah, you're gonna have to pay somebody to take it. You have to pay somebody to take it.
Like, take this. Right. 2 years of I was like, and I honestly, when I got my MBA, I was like, it took me 2 years. I was like, really? I was like, this was easier than undergrad.
Right, exactly.
Undergrad, I was just surprised I was able to get into the school of business for English. Because you look at my undergrad, when certain jobs asked me to send my transcripts, I just sent my graduate transcript.
Right. That's the last school I went to.
Like, this is truly I was like, you don't want to see those undergrad. I was like, because I would joke and say, like, people, my best friend is super smart. She's a medical doctor. She graduated our valedictorian and like stuff like that. So how people graduate, they like summa cum laude, like all that. I was like, I graduated thank you laude, like right. Because it was a struggle, but then I also went to a party school, so that was
well. They say you appreciate it more when you start paying for it. A lot of components change your perspective on it. It's like as the older you get and you getting that bill every month, you're like, yo, I gotta buckle down. Like, yo, I'm paying this. I'm paying, ain't no reimbursement happening here.
I was like, wish these hackers would stop going into like Cash Apps and stuff like that and go to Sally Mae or somebody.
Right. Please hack my loans.
Yeah, you help the poor people. You taking my little coins. Taking my little coins from my Cash App, but yet you won't take these big dollars. Like, just delete. Just hit delete. That's all I ask you. Just hit delete.
Wipe it out. Black Brew Babes, was there anything in your careers that led y'all to what you guys are doing for your community down in Atlanta?
Well, I went to school for fashion merchandising. So that plays a part into my eye for us taking the pictures and stuff that we do as far as, like the ingredients and how I want to see it set up and what I think will appeal to the eye. So I would say that has helped in that range of things as far as beer is involved.
Okay.
Now I had a question, Tim. Now have Ali and Shonna, have you homebrewed? Have y'all tried brewing?
Not yet. We've been with a couple of our homebrewer friends, and we've been there to assist and learn the background of it. This was at least before COVID, and came up on the screen.
Wait, I know things popped up.
Hey, Rob got that. Rob got this whole setup. He's this production. This is.
Sorry about that.
No, so yeah, we went and were able to like get behind the scenes, like learn some information about like how they do it, and there is one set of friends who has like a whole setup like in his garage. And then there's another guy who homebrews on his stove. So we're like, wow, you are like on it. Like, because we know like the temperatures and keeping up with this and keeping up with that. Like there's a lot to it. So you do it out your kitchen, like you are on it. And then we tried some of his beer. Actually, we're drinking one of his stouts now. And we're just like, sir, your carbonation is perfect on this bottle. Like it did not splur out like another homebrewer that we tried before. So it's like, what you're doing, and it makes you more proud and excited to see like what else they will have come.
Yeah, nice. I like learned the hard way because, like I said, said earlier, I never homebrewed, and I was with a local homebrew store here called the Pump House. If you want to homebrew, you can do it at his shop. He'll help you out. And I was like, hey, I never homebrewed before, so let's do it. I didn't realize, so when it was time, once the beer was done, it was done fermenting, I'm like, hey, let's carb this up. And he was like, oh, we do this, we add this to it, and it carbs in the bottle. Right. I'm so used to carbonation being done in the fermenter, straight to keg or something like that. And he was just like, he's like, when you go in a bottle, you add this, and it takes an additional 2 to 3 weeks before it's carved. And I was ready to drink the beer now. I was like, so now you're telling me I need to put on my wine making hat, and I gotta wait 3 more weeks to drink this. And he's like, and make sure it's at room temperature, not too cold. And I was just like, so it was eye opening to me. Like I have so much respect for homebrewers, like you said, because like going for someone who has a setup in their garage to seeing someone set up on the stove, that's completely different.
Very intricate process. When you're doing it at home, you literally have to babysit it all day.
Another question in terms of the Atlanta beer scene now. Have y'all done a lot of collaborations with the Atlanta beer scene in terms of what y'all are doing with the your Black Brew Babes mission?
We have not done anything officially yet. We were supposed to actually have our own brew on the booth, and that was going to be like a special thing that we wanted.
What style was it going to be?
A stout? No.
Yeah.
But I think it was like in May or something. So that'd be something light and refreshing, right?
No, because Shonna's an all-season stout lady.
had to go off of like what they could produce as well in different flavors.
In the time frame. We were
Yeah,
gonna
and
do
the time frame.
Yeah, we were gonna do a pale ale,
Okay.
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah, so that was our big goal. Like we had so many big goals for that both.
Right.
So
2021.
yes. So
Yeah.
is the major things that we do want to do. We do want to brew our own brew. As far as after that, not really sure. I think we're playing it by ear as far as COVID goes. Like what goes we really put our hands in because we want to be there every step of the way. So if we were to do that with the brewery or whoever right now, there would be too many limitations just because we know everyone's trying to be safe and clean and those kind of things. So we gotta wait until it's like opened up, and like they're not gonna mind us being there, coming in whenever to actually like touch it, see it, take notes. I like to know everything. So,
Would you guys work so hard or so much? It seemed like with local home brewers, would you ever consider just collabing with a home brewer to do it?
That would be our first preference. Told us before, Black is beautiful. This would be the perfect time for you to collaborate with a brewery. Like, this is the moment. It's like, we get it, but we don't want to use that as our opportunity to collab with a big brewery. One, because it feels like, it kind of feels like, oh, I have Black friends. We don't want it to be that kind of situation.
Yeah.
We collaborated with a Black gay couple, like women.
Well, we'd rather keep it in our community. So because we do know Black home brewers, we might as well keep it with them. Give them whatever it is and give them the exposure. All of that, it makes more sense.
I like that.
We have at least like 2 people in mind that we can still do something with. And there was one that we were working with for the boat party. They were going to help us with that. So it's just us feeling more comfortable with COVID and like going over to someone's house and those things again. So.
Yeah. Cause I'll be looking at IG. I thought Atlanta was open. open.
You already know they was one of the first to reopen. So
not that much. Like we go to certain things on certain spur of the moments where we're in our masks and different things like that. And even then we just still be like, all right, it's been a little crap, time to go. So
Atlanta was popping by June 15th. Yo, they were trying to reopen immediately.
It seemed like earlier than that, man. They was out.
Yeah, Atlanta and Florida, they was tripping. Yeah. I was like, Ohio's not any better. We back spiking up, and then so we are thinking like, hey, our governor may call for another shutdown. Like we are still not at 100% capacity.
They just shut down. It was some European country. I want to say Paris, like France, that they shut them down for 3-4 weeks because it's spiking again. Gotta be careful. Be safe and vote, guys. Be safe and vote.
Absolutely.
Even though I'm having a lot of fun, I can't stay too much longer. I got a conflict that actually requires me to drop off, so I won't be able to do the 2 Truths and a Lie if you guys get to that. Allie, Hannah, and Shonna, as well as my fellas, I enjoyed this time. I gotta hop off, but hey, look, keep me posted. I'm following you guys, and I'll make sure to keep in touch and support what you guys have going on always.
Well, I just wanted to let you know too before you hop off that they were talking about Black is Beautiful. We actually just brewed it 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
so
nice.
I will definitely shoot you guys off like a text or a message just letting you know, because we will be canning it. Like we I paired up with a local artist who did some amazing artwork for the can.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully we're looking to release it maybe first few weeks in November. Okay. Because I'm planning on adding something to it, not just keep the original recipe. I love a pastry shop, just so y'all know. Okay. So right now it's sitting at 9.5%. So definitely, and then we're supporting a local nonprofit called United Returning Citizens, who they help people, ex-felons, return into the community. So So that's who our proceeds are going to. So definitely we're like,
yeah. With that being said, we may need to revitalize a segment that we used to call Brew Drop, where we would do can releases, and maybe this is the time that I get a side interview with you that we can post and just talk about that actual can release, even though Black is Beautiful has been already on, but it's specific to Brews and Banter podcast. I can get on and kind of ask you why what spin you put on it, and you can talk a little bit more about how you guys are giving back to the community.
Definitely, we love that.
All right, awesome. Okay, all right guys, I'll talk to you all soon.
Have a good week, Devin.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. All right.
And then they were
Any more
four.
questions?
Five.
Or five.
I saw the square.
Well, they are a unit, so it's one.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, I got you. I understood. Hannah, I did have one more question for you because we had Mickey on here last week.
Yeah.
And you also affiliated with Black Brew Youngstown, correct?
Yes. Mickey, she is from Youngstown.
Yes.
She started Black is Brew Chicago. So we loved everything that she did, like the whole component of promoting diversity, the learning component of it. And I was just like, and that's something like I kind of was doing, just like I said, introducing your friends and stuff to it. But I really didn't have like a name behind it. It was like, hey, try this, bring this over. We try. So then I just was talking to her. And then when she comes home to visit, we go out, we have some beers, stuff like that. And then we were just like, hey, we need a chapter here. And she was like, and then she had other people tell that to her. So the last year in November, we launched Black and Brew Youngstown. And she also launched with some family members in Cleveland, Black and Brew Cleveland.
Yeah.
So we did that. And then again, like when 2020 came and we were like, we had all these things planned.
Right.
The pandemic, shut us down for it. But yeah, so we just had one of our meeting the other day too, just talking about different things like, hey, especially with the release of our Black is Beautiful at Modern Methods, just tying that diversity, that Black and Brew Youngstown into it, because a local brewery called Noble Creature here in Youngstown, they're actually in downtown Youngstown. Really cool spot. They converted an old church into a brewery. They released their Black is Beautiful probably a couple weeks ago, and I just put out on our Facebook, hey, let's just come support. They're donating to two amazing organizations that's helping the cause, and it was a nice crowd of people that showed up to support. And again, it was people who did not drink beer, and they even bought like growlers to take home. They were like, we really don't drink, but we want to support. We want to support the cause, everything like that. So it was just like a nice thing. But this is like just promoting diversity. Like when we did our first event for Black and Brew Youngstown at that same brewery, it was funny because like we just joke around. It was like, and the owner Ira, him and his wife are probably like two of the most amazing people that I ever met. And they were just like, hey, what do you need? What do you want? Like, we love this. And so we went. He gave us they're small. We were in the basement. He gave us a tour. He talked about everything. We tried beers. And we were just joking when we came up from the basement where the production space was, and the people saw like 40, 50 Black people come out the basement. We were just like, they were just looking like, hey, where y'all come from? We didn't know like these people were here. So it was just like, sometimes it's funny to see people's reactions when they see people of color in a craft brew place, but to see and sometimes they're just used to seeing one or two, but to see 40 of us, numbers mean something. And people know like our dollars mean something too. Like if you do more of these things, or you're more intentional, or organizations are like what Blkbrewbabes do and things like that, other Black and Brew Chicago, you have to be intentional for these things and make collaborations. And it's not, I know Mickey said something like, don't use me to get people in there, but then you also you can also sense people's true selves sometimes. Like you can tell if they're trying to use you or if you can tell they're sincere. And it's just like, if you are reaching out to me or if you're reaching out to anybody to come out, we can, in a sense that. And I truly feel like we know just based off of our everyday life experience, like when someone's trying to use us or not. So it's just like, I've been reached out by people in places and people have expressed a lot of interest, but they're also genuine about it, because one of the things that has come up in some of our meetings with like Ohio Craft Brewers Association, they don't know how to reach out to the Black community. It's like they don't want it to be like, hey, we need Black people, we want Black people. But then they're asking like someone like me and maybe one other person, like, how do we do it? But then that's also like a harder thing to answer, because I don't know how I can answer that. Like, I don't know how you can attract us other than like, it again, like maybe I ask you guys, like, how do you guys, like when you are faced with a situation like that, if someone approaches you or a brewery or something like that to get Black people in, like, how do you, if they ask you like, hey, we want to reach out, but we don't know how, like, how do we do it? It's hard again, because being
Right.
like almost a solo person in the state, I don't have the answer for every Black person or every brewery or something like that. So it's definitely hard. But starting this with Mickey, it definitely helps, because we're saying definitely we are supporting diversity in craft beer, and we want to learn. We just don't want you to bring us in there to take our dollars. We want you to teach us or to expand our palates, to do a beer school, to do something, and to, again, then this is how you get people to come into your brewery.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It definitely is a difficult, I guess, not conversation, but in terms of just bringing it, I think more of it has to be just about dialogue and trying to bring in as many voices as we can.
Yeah.
'Cause we were, like, I mean, 'cause before COVID, we were going through an event in some of the brewery throughout Delaware, just in terms of having an educational portion of that, having like a community nights, because a lot of these breweries are in pretty much Black neighborhoods a lot of times, but they don't really cater to the community. So we're just doing more of that in terms of bringing more events that have more the educational component. A lot of times that's what it's missing, because Black folks only think about, some of them only think about in terms of beer. They might only think like Bud Light, and so they don't really understand the craft part of it. So I think a lot of that is education, and doing that and reaching out and actually being actively reaching out in the community. You just can't say, well, we're here, but that don't mean, just because you're there doesn't mean you're feeling welcome. Because when you go in there and everybody don't look like you, not the staff, not the patrons, you be like, oh, this ain't for me, I'm out.
Right.
Yeah, it's
right.
like Noble Creature, the brewery I was just talking about in Youngstown. They actually, to me, made a bold statement. They put a new thing on their door with their times and stuff, but their sign says, "Welcome to the Creature. No racist, sexist, or homophobic turds permitted beyond this point."
They call them turds.
He called them turds.
I like
That's what's
that.
up.
He said, and it's printed permanently on their door. And I was like, that says a lot to me in so many things. Again, because you're looking at your clientele that may come in there, they don't look like us.
You're right.
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 And he's telling you flat out, you're not welcome here. And
Right.
I think a lot more places should make statements like that if they truly feel that way.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
And so just so you know, like, hey, we are open to everybody. And it's just, and I thank them. It was like, I was like, I love that. Like when you're being extra about something, it's just like you put it on their door. It's not just like, hey, we made a Facebook post, we made an Instagram post. No, we made it permanent. So when you swing that door open, every time you walk in here, this is what you see. And this is how you feel. We don't need your dollars.
Right.
Right.
So,
that's what's up. Shout out to them then, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know. Did everybody want to play Two Truths and a Lie?
I'm not first if we do.
All right. Well, here's my.
Okay.
That's my game show music.
Sounds like we at a hockey rink.
Welcome to Two Truths and a Lie, where each contestant tells two truths, one lie, and everyone else has to guess which one is the lie. Lou, would you like to start, Lou?
Sure, I'll go. No problem. I got two truths and a lie, and we got to guess the what? Guess the lie? Okay, all right. It took me 5.5 years to finish college. My favorite class in college was Intro to Opera. I got an A+. And you said two truths and a lie?
Yes.
All right. Let me find something else.
Let's find that lie.
I bought my first car with my graduation money from high school.
Okay.
Took me 5.5 years to graduate college. My favorite class was Intro to Opera. I got an A+, and I bought my first car when I was 18 with my graduation money.
The 5.5. The 5.5 is the lie.
Okay.
The opera is a lie. You gotta agree.
Allie, that's messed up.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with that. The class. I don't think that exists.
Okay. Don't even exist.
It doesn't exist.
What about you, Hannah?
I might say the opera. I might say you ain't get no A.
God damn, y'all
You
like
probably didn't even show up majority of the time.
First of all, definitely took me 5.5 years to go to college. That shit was hard. And I did get an A+, motherfuckers. I love that class. That's the only class that wasn't hard. I went every day.
Well, maybe that was your calling. You missed your calling then.
I know I can't sing though. I couldn't sing. Look, if I'd have had somebody to come in and say, "Hey, you don't have to sing to be in opera. There's other things that you can do in this opera game." Maybe I would be in opera. But yeah, I did. I didn't get my first car until I was like 22.
Okay. So the lie was, I forgot what
the car.
What was the lie? The car. The car. That was
we was all around.
18, 22.
Yeah.
Who would like to go next? Allie?
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, Shonna, you need to be quiet.
You can't
answer. You can't answer because you better know. You better know.
We don't want to cause no problems.
Right, exactly.
All right. So I saved a life before. I went skydiving for my birthday last year, and I'm the baby of my family.
The lie is to save a life.
I'm gonna say the baby of the family is the lie.
I know.
Baby of the family, yeah, lie.
You all alone.
Skydiving.
You went skydiving on your birthday. That was a lie. See, you were so specific when you said last year. I was like, oh, she really did.
Oh yeah, she did that.
Yeah, I thought for sure that was it.
Yeah, I knew she was skydiving. Right. Would you ever go skydiving, Allie?
I'm not sure. One of my really good friends, he went skydiving last month for his birthday, and the way his parachute was tied, when they pulled the string, it like cut off his circulation. So like,
oh no, I'm out.
No, his circulation was cut off before he even got up in the air.
No, he was in the air. The only thing he remembers is like maybe the first minute or so where they were like taking pictures on the camera, and then next
he passed out.
Oh, he passed out. He passed out.
Oh my gosh, no. See, that's when you regret signing a waiver. It's like, dang it.
Like, it was the fault of the person that was on his back. So that person, but luckily he didn't die. But he said he was. So.
Wow. Yeah. See, I'm out. I'm good.
No, I feel like they got to give me my money back. Like, okay. Yeah, I shouldn't have to pay for strangulation in the air. You should. Right. Unless that's what you like.
Something I don't remember.
That's something new.
Right. Shonna or Hannah?
All right. Me? I forgot. Me.
I trying to think of.
I think she's
I'm
trying
still
to pass. She's trying to pass. She's trying to get out of it.
I'm just trying to think hard.
Oh man. 2 truths and a lie. 2 truths.
Hannah,
and a
you
lie.
had 2 hours.
I had longer when he sent me the.
I'm giving you the benefit. I'm trying to say
I did send the agenda.
Okay, here we let's see.
That's a lie.
Oh, that is a lie.
Yeah.
Come back to me. Give me 1 more minute.
All right.
Go ahead, Rob.
All right, I'll go. I'll give everybody a little time. 2 truths and a lie. I won a spring break trip from a soda company during a tug of war competition.
That is not what I thought you were going to say.
I was in ballet when I was little. And what was the last one? Shit, I had it. Where I wrote it down at.
That's the truth. Whatever that one is, that's the truth.
Oh shit! I must have.
Turn the page.
I thought I wrote it down, but now I don't have it. I injured myself falling off a.
What? All right.
No, a bunk bed. Okay, shit.
You injured yourself
falling off a bunk bed.
The first one is the lie.
The first one is the lie?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay, everybody else?
I'll go with the first one too.
I'm going with the last one. I'm going.
I didn't hear him.
Ballet. The ballet is a lie. Everything else is true.
I wanted you to do at least 1 semester of ballet so bad.
that would have been great.
Yeah, it would have been. But I did win a trip to Cancun by Surge. I don't even know if Surge they still make Surge. They still make Surge.
That the orange or the citrus soda.
Yeah. They had a tug of war competition in New York.
And you won. How was the trip?
The trip was great.
It was good. Okay.
It was a good time. It was Cancun. Good. It was Cancun night when TRL and stuff like that, when they had the spring break joints at MTV.
Oh yeah, it was live.
We had just missed that week though, I think. So they weren't there.
Conveniently, they sent you the week after TRL left.
Right. Now, Hannah.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's see. 2. Let's see. I love strippers. My favorite candy is Twizzlers. And I'm
That's
trying to think
lie.
which one I want to use. This is not the lie.
She definitely loves strippers.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Right. If they say they don't, they lying.
You think they lying?
Yeah, they lying if they say they don't.
Oh man! And then the other one is that I don't know. What's my lie? Never mind. I can't play this game.
There it is. That one right there.
I've been drinking too much.
That right there is your lie.
2 truths. That's it. I love Twizzlers and I love strippers.
Two truths, and I don't know.
Who doesn't love naked gymnasts? I mean,
I can't.
Right.
I can't
lie.
Like
a pole ballet, a pole with a ballet. That's great.
Right.
Mine is 3 truths.
Unless it was Rob on the pole doing ballet.
It is 3 truths. I can't lie. So that's
there you go.
We see.
I am not good at that. So I can't play this game.
All right. Okay. Shonna?
Okay.
You got one?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
2 years in high school. I saved a life, and I cheered in college.
Did y'all save a life together?
Absolutely. So hers must be true then. She must have saved the life.
I'm gonna go with the save a life. What'd you say, Rob?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Save Your Life too. I guess. I don't know. A chair in college. That seemed believable.
Right. Where'd you go to college?
Polytechnic State University.
Oh, she definitely cheered in college. No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have a football team?
No.
Just a basketball team? They got a track team?
You asked a lot of questions.
Which one was it?
We waiting on you to give your guess.
Oh, I was writing down some questions. I want to replay it. I got something for y'all. I'm ready. But I will have to say cheered in college.
You guessing, Yoda?
I ain't guessing.
You on mute.
I put him on mute because the air was
drowning out everybody.
I heard. Yeah, because I could hear all the air.
You can hear them tires rumbling down the road.
I'm waiting here right now. No, stupid.
Did you have a guess?
Nah, I ain't gonna guess.
All right.
Nah.
Mute him again.
All right. All right.
What is it, Shonna?
They were all true. I didn't have a lie.
What?
Ah.
What is the gong sound?
Can't lie either.
It's high school.
All right, I'm ready to replay though.
Okay.
Hannah, you want another turn?
Yes, I get another turn. I'm ready. I've been drinking. It's y'all fault.
I got you.
My favorite ice cream is butter pecan. I have a fur baby, and I've been vegan for 4 years.
Your favorite ice cream is butter pecan. Fur babies and vegan sounds, because I think it actually says on your Instagram, it says something about plants. Plant life.
Oh man, I was gonna say she eat meat. I guess not.
Fur baby.
So I think it's the first one. Butter pecan. You can't stand butter pecan.
Yeah, you like a strawberry lady. You a strawberry woman.
My favorite ice cream is butter pecan. I do have a fur baby. And I've been vegetarian for 4 years.
What kind of oh, there it is. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
Pitbull Nova. It's a girl.
That's sneaky though. Vegetarian, vegan.
Vegetarian, vegan. There's a difference.
I know there's a difference, but that was that was slick.
I needed some time to think.
Yeah,
And I heard her out there. And
you needed some time. You needed another chance. You needed a second chance. You needed a lot of stuff, Hannah.
I needed a lot. So.
Yeah,
thank you guys for giving me that opportunity to play this game twice.
Yeah, that's what we do. We are a podcast of second chances. You made it.
I should have said my dog likes beer, and that's a truth. So.
Oh.
She helped me judge. She helped me judge beers.
Yeah, do not tell Peter that. Do not tell Peter that.
Peter, don't come get me. Don't come get me.
Peter don't care about you. They care about the dog.
They sure do. They don't care about it.
All right. Any more questions before we wrap up this beautiful episode 93? Anyone have had you have any more a question, Lou?
No, I'm good. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. I always appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I want to thank Hannah and Ali and Shonna for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
But before we always go, we like to ask everybody where people can find you if they want to follow your journey in craft beer, or just follow you in general. How can people find you? We'll start with Ali and Shonna.
You can follow us on Instagram at Blkbrewbabes. That's BLKBREWBABES.
And you can follow me on Instagram at DopetheBrand. DopetheBrand.
Lou?
For Devin, was it Devin _ just follow Devin. Just follow the Brews and Banter podcast. We'll get to Devin. For all your beer needs, you can follow me at Lou Belgium. I am on them Instagrams.
Welcome
302 Yoda to the podcast.
I was listening, but I wasn't, but you can follow me
You were traveling.
Yeah, I was traveling.
Yeah, just say that.
But I was listening too.
Right, I saw the comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shut up, Lou.
Nope, never gonna do that.
You can find me on Instagram at 302 Yoda and on Instagram and Facebook at Delaware on Grind.
All right. And you can find Bruising Banter Podcast at Bruising Banter Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and you can say, Alexa, play Bruising Banter Podcast because we are on Amazon Music as well. And you can also watch us on YouTube or Facebook.
Yep, we're there too.
And remember, you can go to www.bruisingbanter if you like some of this good old merch.
I got one of them too. I got that same one.
Yeah. And you can find, if you want to follow me, Rob G, at my new handle, Rob G.
Yes. It's the third one in 3 months. The third change in 3 months.
This one is actually easier to
That boy got branding issues. He got branding issues.
That was way easier for him to remember, though.
You think so?
Right.
You think so?
Yeah, it is. See how easy it came out of my mouth? Rob,
let's wait till next week.
Let's
wait till next week. It'll either be changed.
It don't have any underscores and all that.
Exactly.
That's what was messing you up, Rob.
Exactly. It was. Underscores is doing
People like Rob G. He'd be like Rob G underscore. What's after the underscore?
Yeah, I'm at the BBP.
Please don't add any underscores.
Yeah, so I got rid of underscores.
Devin has like 6 of them. Devin has like 6 underscores.
Underscores don't work. It's not even. It don't flow out the mouth.
Yeah,
underscore.
Underscore. It's like 3 syllables. That's too much.
Yeah,
but it's harder to find the underscore when you're looking for it. You're like, is this the dash or is this the underscore? I don't know. So
right.
It's harder.
Yep. And some people say it different. They don't say dash. They mean underscore. It's a whole thing.
Right. And remember, as always, rate and review, subscribe. Until next time, this is episode 93.
Please vote, everyone. Vote Democrat.
Vote.
Yep. And have a great week.
Bye,
everybody. You heard me, Yoda.
Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, Hannah. See you soon.
Thank you.
All right, fellas. Have a great week. I gotta go to work.
Tom Carver with young niggas shooting like hard. Beg your pardon. I just put the paddock on throwaway. Shout try to take a nigga solo away. Beg your pardon. Big body roll, give me roll race. Swerving in an Aston Martin. Beg your pardon. First body said I want pop. With every misformed, I got it on the K in my pocket.